Hey guys, Daniel again. I want to talk to you about box trucks, renting box trucks with Amazon Relay again. A lot of requests around this, and I get a ton of clients that call about it. So just clarify some more things, and weigh pros and cons of renting. All right, and really just look into some of the don't slip up and do this type of things. So first off, getting your own authority, sign up on Amazon Relay using a rental box truck is awesome. I'm really happy that's a possibility for people to be able to start trucking companies and get into the industry that way, because it's awesome. It's just awesome, plain and simple. You don't have to have a CDL. You don't have to put a chunk of money down to purchase a truck or lease one, and if it doesn't work out for you, you don't have an asset that you have to hold on to or try and sell. So, or the liability if you're making payments on it. So it's pretty awesome. It's not necessarily a type of thing you get into to test the waters though. It's not like, oh, let me just see if I want to do this. You're going to commit a lot of time and effort into making this happen. But overall, I think it's pretty neat. I think it's just awesome. Put it that way. Some of the reasons why you might not want to do this though, that you might not realize you don't want to do it until after you're, deep in it. When you do the rentals, okay, you have to update every truck on your insurance policy that you get. So if you go pick one up on Monday or Monday morning, you drop it off on Friday, you pick up another one on the following Monday, and it's not the same exact truck, you have to get that updated on your insurance before you hit the road. So you need an agent that can work with you on that. All right, this is something you need to be telling your agent up front when you're trying to get quotes. Okay, when you're trying to get your authority started and you're starting to get quotes and agents are calling you, let them know hey, I'm going to use a rental box truck. I'm not going to buy one. Maybe down the road. I'm not doing a term lease. I'm doing a rental, week to week most of the time. If you are running loads over the weekend and you're keeping it 2 weeks or whatever, don't get it confused with a lease. You're renting or leasing, or you own it, or then the other scenarios where you hire people, you lease on their equipment. That's something else. I won't talk about that right now. That's a whole ordeal. So if you don't update the truck on your policy, you can run into a lot of issues because the truck's not covered. If you got a different truck, it's not what matches your policy, you get in a wreck, you're not covered. Commercial insurance is way different than personal insurance, and that's where I get the most people having the wrong expectations, because like I said, you don't have to have a CDL for this. You don't have to have any experience in trucking, period, to get into this, which means you don't have any experience. You don't know how things work with trucking in general, or trucking insurance, which is if you don't know about trucking insurance, you definitely want to learn about it, because it dictates a lot of what you can do with your trucking company. A whole lot. And there's a lot of mistakes you can make and it puts you right out of business. So you want an agent that has a good system or is willing to work with you for doing rentals, okay? What I do with my clients, I tell them, look, you're gonna get paperwork on the truck when you go to pick it up or when you go to drop it off. Take a picture, put it in an email so it's easily traceable if something went wrong. And what if I didn't update the policy but you sent me the email requesting it? You have an email, you have proof that you sent that in. All right, so that would be against me if I didn't update it. If you sent me a text, one, I don't like text messages, but email, I can search for an email. I can search for your email address and in my inbox, or if I have a folder or whatever. It just makes it a lot more simple. But you can email the picture of your paperwork. I run in, I get that updated on the policy, you're good to go. All right, but more than likely, if you're renting, you're probably going to need Progressive. They're about the only insurance company that will allow you to do this, and it won't mess you up, because I talked about this in another video. When you need to make all these changes to your policy, pretty constantly, Progressive's one of the only companies that I know of. You might have something in your state that could work, but they're one of the only ones that will allow you to use a rental truck and have the system that they do where we can make these changes kind of on the fly. All right, everybody else requires submittal and review, and confirmation, and then once you actually have like an invoice from the insurance company, then you have to go to your finance company, and you probably have another truck before the first request gets done. Like that happens, and then your billing's all jacked up because they don't have direct billing, or you don't pay in full. Whereas Progressive has everything, in one little roof, under one roof, and it's quick and easy. If it's too expensive because you have a bad driving record, bad credit, there's a lot of variables that go in there, or it might, just might not make sense. Maybe rates aren't that great where you're at in your area. That's one thing that is kind of a downfall too. Like if you don't have much or any experience in the trucking industry, and you don't understand like how rates can fluctuate. I've seen a lot of people like come in when rates are like popping, like it's awesome, like oh my god, and then they weren't planning ahead for rates to fall through the floor when they do, not if they do, when they do, and then their budget and their lifestyle or whatever, and then out of business, all that effort, nothing. And once you're out of it, or once like if you can't keep up with your insurance payments, things like that, like it's really hard to get it back started. It can be more expensive. You can rack up a lot of debt really fast, and like way faster than you think, and you might not have the choice of coming back. So especially if there's no other options where you're at, whatever state you're in. So that's pretty much it. We talked about swapping trucks. That's really important to make sure your agent can work with you on that. And then billing, I'll always stress billing. Like if you start to get behind on the insurance payments, insurance is going to go run to the FMCSA. Your authority is going to be pending cancellation. That's permanently on your history that you had a pending cancellation. You get too many of those, other insurance companies won't want to work with you down the road. And that's the other thing. You start with a rental truck, you want to eventually get to purchasing or doing a term lease on another truck. Sometimes the term leases are better, depending on what you're really going after, just because they might include maintenance, which is really nice. Like your main goal is to keep the wheels turning, because when the wheels are turning, you should be making money. And if your truck's in the shop, but you own it and you don't have huge payments on it, that's no good. Like, yeah, you might not have to spend as much on your equipment, or maybe you do have to spend more because you have to cover the maintenance. Main thing is just keep trucks on the road. So sometimes leases are better. But yeah, guys, keep up the comments and liking and subscribing. This channel's growing really fast. I like it. If you have anything else you want to learn about or have questions, feel free to reach out, or leave more comments. Check out my affiliates down below in the descriptions. Please, those help out a ton, and they'll help out you. And yeah, stay tuned. I'll have some more up here soon. Thank you guys.